Hi everybody, it's Joe from PrepAgent. If you can hear me, tell me what city you're from, and let's get started. Seems like our sound is good. Get ready to go. We got Susan from Los Angeles, Lolita from Philadelphia, Goodies from Idaho. Excellent. Okay, so we're heading into Thanksgiving. So just so everybody knows, we are not doing a webinar for the rest of the week. So this is the last webinar of the week. So tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, we are not doing a webinar. We'll pick it up on Monday, okay? As you all should be studying. So on Monday, I believe that's December 2nd, right? Everybody got that? So make sure you do a lot of exercise today and tomorrow because we all know what happens on Thursday. To prevent any guilt and justify all that food, let's work out. Okay, on another note, you are heading into Thanksgiving. What does that mean real estate-wise? So just a little heads up and my little advice for you guys. So as for the real estate exam, you're obviously going to be busy, but do not let all the studying you've been doing go away. So please make sure you set aside a little time to memorize vocabulary words. It'll be very difficult for most of us to get into depth studying of really sitting down and, doing questions and reading and watching videos. So really use that time to bang out some vocabulary wherever you can find a moment, okay? Even if it's just 15 minutes a day, something to keep things fresh. The other thing I want to recommend is now is the time to promote yourself, even if you haven't passed the exam yet, which obviously we haven't, that's why we're on this webinar. I always tell people you don't necessarily should tell people that you're taking the exams and they bother you, but this is kind of an exception. You got to take advantage of the moment, okay? You guys should right now, today, set up your Instagram account if you haven't already. Make sure it's cleaned up. Put some pictures of houses, whether it's a professional Facebook page or anything of that nature, and start to gain followers. You guys should be utilizing your network right now. Please don't miss this opportunity. You guys got to do it during the holidays. Good real estate agents utilize that time to kind of build up their followings. There's a lot of networking going on, a lot of parties, a lot of different functions happening. Because sales generally don't happen a whole lot in the next 2 months. Or next month and a half, I should say. Well, no, next 2 months. Okay? At least in that next month. So a lot of agents use that time to kind of do hardcore networking as much as they can. Remember, your Instagram or social media doesn't have to say that you sell real estate right now. It could just be talking about real estate and becoming a real estate expert in your neighborhood. Okay, has everybody got that? So please take advantage of that moment right now. So after you pass, a good following has already already started. Okay, so that being said, let's look at the word on the board. Balloon loan. Balloon loan. What is a balloon loan? Who knows? What is a balloon loan? What do you guys think? What is a balloon loan? What is a balloon loan? So the words I'm looking for is this. Write down this exact thing. Partially amortized loan. Everybody write that down. Partially amortized loan. Alexis Smith says big payment at the end. That would be the balloon payment. So you're very close, Alexis. But what we want to write down here is partially amortized loan. Is everybody writing that down? Write it down in the chat. Remember, I always say, when you're studying things of this nature, you have to be an active participant because this stuff is just way too boring to just stare at it and hopefully it sinks in. You got to be actively doing stuff. So you write down partially amortized loan. Okay, good. All right. Let's do the next question. Quitclaim deed. What is a quitclaim deed? Who could tell me what is a quitclaim deed? Remember, we want to define these things as few with as few words as possible. A quitclaim deed is something that has no express or implied warranties. A quitclaim deed is something with no express or implied warranties. What does that mean? Yesterday's webinar, I talked about simplifying things. Who was here yesterday? So what does that mean? What does that mean to you guys? Okay, so no express or implied warranties basically means that what you see is what you get. We're not talking about physically what you see. We're talking about problems with the property like encumbrances and things of that nature. It transfers with the property. And that's why you use it with close family or friends, because they're going to take on all the liabilities that are involved. When you have a quitclaim deed, typically money's not transferred for that reason. It's just basically signing somebody's name right over. All right. David says, not my family. Well, enjoy that Thanksgiving. Like, hey, stop eating that turkey. Give me an extra $10, you pig. Is that what it's like? Okay, non-conforming use. Non-conforming use. What is non-conforming use? And you guys have those family members at Thanksgiving that just like eat way too much and like use everything but help nothing, like don't bring anything. I don't know about your guys' family. My family, everybody's supposed to contribute something. Like, who's got that family member who's just such a non-contributing zero, but like engulfs everything? Okay, non-conforming use. It's something that is for the property that does not conform with the rest of the properties in that neighborhood. Okay, so it's something that usually you would get if you got something called a variance. Okay, a variance, it's like an exception to the rule. Intestate, what does that mean? Intestate. Intestate means no will. Intestate means no will. Nicole says certain Kenyan families are like that. Any certain ones in particular? Interesting little fact, bizarre fact, along with many others about me. My mother was actually born in Kenya. She only lived the first few years of her life. But on her passport it says Kenya. Meets and bounds description. Meets and bounds description. Meets and bounds description. Okay, that's a description method where basically they put a grid on an area. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I got them mixed up. My bad. Forget what I just said. Meets and bounds is when they pick a monument and they describe it based on where that monument is. Like they say, oh, that's where the tree is. We're 5 paces from the tree, walk to the lake, things of that nature. Variable interest rate. What's a variable interest rate? What do you guys think? A variable interest rate. That's right, Rachel. I was talking about the lot, plot, and blot system. Ugh, say that 10 times. What's a variable interest rate? That is when you get a loan and the interest rate changes based upon certain money market conditions. So it fluctuates. I'm not a big fan of those. I like consistency. Unenforceable contract. What is an unenforceable contract? What do you guys think? What is an unenforceable contract? What is an unenforceable contract? An unenforceable contract. Let me ask you this question. Is an unenforceable contract the same as a void contract? What do you guys think? Is an a lot of you guys are getting this wrong. Is an unenforceable contract the same as a void contract? Ooh, it looks like we may have to talk about this one. An unenforceable is not the same as a void contract. An unenforceable contract just means it can't be enforced in the court of law. Now, it still has the 4 essential elements. It still has the 4 essential elements of lawful object, capable parties, consideration, and mutual consent. But it lacks something such as writing. Okay, it lacks something if it needs to be in writing, if it's a certain amount of time. Okay, so those would make it unenforceable. And the point is, if a contract is void, all of them are void. Right? Not all contracts can be unenforceable. Because only certain contracts need to be in writing and certain contracts have that time expiration. It doesn't apply to all contracts. FHA, what does that stand for? FHA. FHA. Hike says duress is unenforceable. No, duress makes it voidable. Different. FHA, Fair Housing Administration, we talk about the Fair Housing Act that discriminates discrimination. What are the examples of violations of the Fair Housing Act that we learn for our real estate exam? What are the examples that we learn about? What do you guys think? What are the examples we learn about? We learn about blockbusting, panic peddling, panic settling, steering. What is the difference between steering and panic selling? That's right, Rachel. We learned about redlining. Good. What is the difference between steering and panic selling? Who knows? Who could tell me the difference between steering and panic selling? What do you guys think? Steering has to do with buyers and panic selling has to do with sellers. Good job, everybody. How's my audio today? I feel like it sounds pretty good. Does it sound good? Can everybody hear me? Okay, what is a counteroffer? What is a counteroffer? Who could tell me what a counteroffer is? What is a counteroffer? Is a brand new offer. It's a brand new offer. Man, you guys pick up every little sound on this thing. Okay, a counteroffer is a brand new offer. Sorry, guys, a lot of activity in the background today. We got Thanksgiving this week. So it's not a modification of the original offer. It is a rejection of the offer, and a new offer is placed. Joint tenancy. Perfect. Jessica Ruggieri said it perfectly. A counteroffer and the offeree becomes the offeror. Great job, Jessica. I love the way you phrased that. Nice. Well done. Okay, what is joint tenancy? Joint tenancy has to do with the four unities of time, title, interest, and possession. Time, title, interest, and possession, whereas a tenancy in common just has possession. What is the other big difference? Lolita Petrova said it nicely. What's the other difference? Is that right of survivorship, right of survivorship? Which one has the right of survivorship? The joint tenancy has the right of survivorship, meaning that if they die, the other tenants would get the property, as opposed to a tenancy in common where you could will it to your heirs. Hey, good job, everybody. What is a client? What is a client? A word commonly used but often misunderstood. This is a word commonly used but often misunderstood. What is a client? Okay, it is also known as the principal. Saying, what's the principal? What do you guys think? You guys are defining a word with another word you need to define. That's cheating. So, what is the principal then? So client and the principal is the same thing, but you guys still need to tell me what that is. All right, Alexis Smith nailed it. Nice job, Alexis. She says it's somebody you owe that fiduciary relationship with. Nice. So that is the person you have loyalty to, as opposed to a customer that you treat with honesty and fairness, but you don't owe them loyalty. So, for example, when you get a listing contract with the seller, that seller would be your client, whereas the person coming to buy the house would then be the customer. Everybody got it? If you got it right, got it. Right, got it. Okay. When I said, what's a client, you guys said principal. That's like kind of saying, like, who's that man over there? It's saying, it's that guy. Who's that guy? It's him. What do you mean him? It's, the dude. Which dude? The guy. That man. Just told you. It's kind of using another word that means the same thing to define something. Okay, an exclusive listing. Exactly, Rachel. It's like, what is a car? It's a vehicle. Nice job, Rachel. Okay, so what's an exclusive listing? What does that mean? Exclusive listing means there's one broker. Good job, everybody. Now, there's two types of exclusive listings you guys learn when studying for the real estate exam. What are they? There's two types of exclusive listings you guys learn when you're studying for the real estate exam. Who could tell me what are they? You have your exclusive right to sell and exclusive agency. And both of them mean that you have one broker, as opposed to a non-exclusive listing, which is also known as an open listing, where you can hire multiple brokers. Okay, good job, everybody. What is a less than freehold estate? A less than freehold estate. A less than freehold estate. A less than freehold estate. So that would be a lease. It's limited ownership. And who could tell me the 4 types of less than freehold estates that you need to know for your exam? The 4 types of less than freehold estates you need to know for your exam. Who's got that? What do you guys think? The 4 types of less than freehold estates. So, Carrie, a life estate would be a freehold estate. So the 4 types of less than freehold estates are estate for years, periodic tenancy, estate at will, and estate at sufferance. Okay, nice job. Appurtenant. What does appurtenant mean? Appurtenant. Appurtenant. What do you guys think? Appurtenant. What does that mean? Appurtenant goes with a property, such as the case with an appurtenant easement. An appurtenant easement is an easement that runs with the property. I'm sure you guys heard of that when you study. What is an easement? What is an easement? Who could tell me what an easement is? What is an easement? An easement is something that gives you the right to cross somebody else's land. What is the difference between a dominant tenement and a servient tenement in an easement? What is the difference between a dominant tenement and a servient tenement in an easement? Dominant cross the land, servient tenement is being crossed on. Impounds. What are impounds? Impounds. When you got an impound account, what's that all about? An impound account. Impound account is when you pay for taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Oh, gosh, that's not it at all. Boy, did I just mess up. Was that a brain fart or what? Impounds are when the lender collects money for things like tax and insurance, things that take priority over the loan. Okay, because if you don't pay those things, then the lender cannot connect their money. It has nothing to do with maintenance. When I said tax, insurance, and maintenance, I was describing a type of lease. What type of lease was I describing? What type of lease was I describing? I was describing a net lease. Big oops on that one, huh? So impound accounts when the lender collects reoccurring costs that take priority over the loan, such as taxes and insurance. Okay, title. What is title? What is title? What is title? We did this yesterday. Title is ownership. Good. Good job, everybody. Title is ownership. Earnest money deposit. What do you guys think? Earnest money deposit. Earnest money deposit. Earnest money deposit shows that you're serious about buying the property. Okay, earnest money deposit shows you're serious about buying the property. Good. Promissory note. What do you guys think? Promissory note. Promissory note. What do you guys think? The words I want you to write is evidence of the debt. Right? Evidence of the debt. Just like it shows on the board. Write that down. Evidence of the debt. Evidence of the debt. Option or. It's an option or. What do you guys think? An option or. Option or is when you give the option. Giving the option. One who gives an option. Good. Capitalization income approach. What words do we know for capitalization income approach? Capitalization income approach. Okay, I want you all to write this for capitalization income approach. Converts income into value. Converts income into value. Converts income into value. Or you could write that whole massively long thing. Or just write converts income into value. Ooh, it's a lot to write there. Yuck, gross. Okay, a voluntary lien. So somebody asked me who uses the capitalization income approach. Is more used for properties that you're buying for commercial purposes that bring in income, like a shoe store or things of that nature. You could also use it for rental properties as well, when you need something a little more elaborate than just the gross rent multiplier. Okay, a voluntary lien is when you get a debt that you don't need to have. The big example that we all like, the only one I can really think of, is when you get a loan from the bank, like a mortgage. Okay. All right, guys, that's it for today. I am doing that interview with Ryan Serhamp. It's not a live interview, so I'll post it after it's done. It's a recorded interview, so I'll do it with him, and then we'll edit it accordingly, and then we will post it, so it'll be up like this evening or tomorrow, something of that nature. With that being said, enjoy your Thanksgiving. I will see you guys on Monday. I believe that's December 2nd. I believe the Monday is December 2nd. and I'll talk to you then. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the holiday.